Situation Report, American Front, January 1939. The initial breakthrough, led by the 3rd, 4th and 5th Armored, had managed to take the enemy by surprise and secure Chicago, forcing the Syndicalist government to flee in disarray. From there, we attempted to enact a sickle sweep south to take the key stronghold of St. Louis, which would have completely severed the lines of communication and trapped the majority of troops along the front line. Unfortunately, against our advice, Allied militia had taken the war to be already practically won and begun moving out into non-strategic territory. Meanwhile, for the first time, our BT-7 tanks have met their match. Since the bridges over the Mississippi were held by strong forces, the attack route was planned as a surprise thrust through the Shawnee Forest, then cross the river at weakly defended bridges in the south and attack the city from an unexpected direction. Unfortunately, the 2nd Golden Torch Division of Marine Infantry Specialists was holding said forest, and they used their 20mm AAA to devastating effect in direct fire. While we were aware of danger to our tanks from indirect artillery fire, they used concealed positions to lay traps and then engaged the tanks at close range with rapid fire, where the armor, especially at the sides and rear, turned out to be insufficient. This stalled the whole advance against St. Louis, and while we were forced back, the enemy regrouped and is now threatening Kansas City. We need to reduce the salient quickly and regain the initiative. Meanwhile, in China, we're literally just holding the line. We have secured the river position and we're just digging in here, defending. So we're not going to be doing any offensive actions here. We have a somewhat desperate drive where we are pinning 2 divisions in place in the hills north of Jefferson City, and we're trying to break through and relieve Kansas. That is, or potentially take St. Louis in the south if it turns out that we can make our way there. So if these 2 tank divisions can break through and reach St. Louis before the enemy does, then we could be in a position where we are, I think not, yeah, we'd still have problems with supply, but so would the enemy, because that's the only supply point that they're currently holding east of here. So the whole front depends on that, and we have to do that before they take they retake Minneapolis, because that would be disastrous. So that's the attempt. We'll see if we can manage to break through there. In Sicily, we have gained the initiative, so we're currently clearing our troops north of the river line, and to enable the German infantry to actually make their way across towards Ancona. The Papal troops are just defending north of Rome right now, and in Egypt we have 3 Guards divisions which are waiting for, I think, Jerusalem to be connected, although this is Syria, so I'm not actually entirely certain where their capital is at this stage. But yeah, we're low on supply, so we'll see if we can rescue the Syrian rebel troops in the north. But it might also be a case of everyone just having to organize the front lines for starters until the situation becomes more transparent. But for now, the main concern is here. So we've got the 4th and 5th moving into the south, and Persia has now declared war on the Ottoman Empire as well. All right, it's the war over the Shatt al-Arab. Signed in 1913 under the guidance of the British and Russian attachés in Constantinople and Tehran, the Shatt al-Arab Protocol was supposed to solve the centuries-old border conflict between the Ottoman and Persian empires by delineating the Tigris-Euphrates line. Claiming the treaty as unjust and favoring the Ottomans, Iran has issued an ultimatum to the Turks demanding a large swath of land to secure Persian interests. Constantinople has ignored the ultimatum, claiming the 1913 protocols were already too generous. Receiving no answer, Persian troops subsequently started the bombardment of Far Fortress, initiating open war against the Turks. All right, we actually have a vested interest of assisting the Iranians here against the old empire of the Ottomans. So we might be able to once again send volunteers, 3 divisions. So we can send another 3 divisions to Persia, and that is definitely in our interest. So I'm going to get that organized. Plus we have a few other things that we need to look at. I actually have a research slot available here as well. Okay, 3 guards divisions are being sent to the Shah of Persia and under Kanzin. And once they arrive, then we'll open the eastern flank against the Ottoman Empire as well. And potentially things might get heated here in the north, but we'll see. I think Georgia and Azerbaijan should be safe for the time being and should be able to hold their own. We do have a research slot available. So this is all. Let's see what we can do. I think the construction 4 is starting to become interesting. But we do actually have the advanced machine tools to do. So how's our production? Yeah, we're at limit with some of the production efficiency. So let's get advanced machine tools out of the way. And we've got a few other things. MIOs, that is probably what I'm using for trucks. A quick look. Yes, that is the one we're using for trucks, but nothing else. Potentially for other things. This is truck mechanized, mechanized motorized as well. We can get, okay, interesting. We can increase the salaries, and that's an interesting link here. So we can increase the salaries to the military industrial organization, which is going to give us 5% stability and reduces the hunger, or we can get 5% war support. No, I think increased salaries is the better choice here, honestly. So we currently are 2, which has slightly, not massive, but slightly negative effects. So that's actually a really interesting, choice. So is this applicable? Yeah, to everything. Okay, let's use that. And I don't think the trucks are currently actually using that. Yes, that's unfortunate. We're going to have to fix that, which is going to increase the breakthrough and reduce the fuel usage. So save that, and then we have to actually replace that here. Okay, we can convert trucks, which is probably an interesting choice. We do have some laying around. Yeah, we'll probably do that because it saves some rubber, which is needed elsewhere. And we've got some BT5s that we can convert, which is going to we can also do that, which is going to improve, which is going to increase the delivery of these vehicles. All right, I do need to research the conversion text at some point, but for now. We have many front lines to deal with. Okay, so these troops here need to organize themselves first. China is defensive, so and I think everything else is under control. So the PSA is where we're going to, Pacific States is where we're going to focus for now, specifically on these 2 tank divisions. And we will see if we can manage to make our way across here and close the trap before things go bad. This is gonna take a bit of time still. 2 days. Okay, 2 days to make our way across the river, and we are getting counterattacked because the 3rd has been somewhat exhausted. But yeah, the other 2 we should be able to defeat that relatively easily. 3rd has been pushed back. The exhausted 3rd has been pushed back, which is unfortunate. Which means that we are probably not getting through here. Yes, because now they're defending. Now the infantry has made their way through. Unfortunately, the 3rd hasn't been able to hold out for long enough. So this assault here, we're going to stop the attack and defend against the counterattack, and then try our own counterattack in the north, unfortunately, and have another attempt at Jefferson City potentially from there. Let's see if we can break that. While we are and try to link up in Kansas. So the path to St. Louis, I haven't been able to get through ahead of the infantry. The Red Guards have made their way there first. Addressing the people has been completed. Restoration of the monarchy has left a great many people disillusioned and angry, as they were hopeful for Russia to stay a republic. They fear that the return of the Tsar signals a rollback of democracy, no, in the opposite, and return to its pre-1970 oppression. To assuage these fears, the emperor will address the people on the radio, emphasizing the monarchy as a symbol of unity for the Russian people and explaining its role in the country's governance. 10% stability, which is good because that gives us increased political power and the improved radio is completed. So now that we've done that, we could distribute civic honors, which would give us 100 political power, and some people, one division would be decorated, but it would annoy the left again, which we have just gotten back down to neutral. So right now we have no impacts from the anger. We've done signs to victory. We do need to construct the Wrangel line, 56 days, but we also have a few other things that need to do. I think it's about time to start with the synthetic chemistry and to enable us to build up it gives us some synthetic refineries, and that might be quite. This would also be good computing technology research. We also could do the Moscow Economic Circle. That's political power gain and production efficiency cap. And we could invite people to the council, which would also be good. Or the annihilation or the assimilation of the bandit states. Okay, this needs to get out of the way, because if I don't do it at some point, I'll never get there. The problem is that currently we're still dealing with minor resistance there, so this is drawing 46,000 men as garrison, and we have a few divisions stationed there just in case things go sideways, but all of this needs to be resolved. So we're at 36%, but we can then, once that's completed, go from civilian oversight into the integration and see that we can get them integrated. Right, we've got lots of technologies completing right now. This would be radar, where we need a special project for as well, which is that's new actually. We need the special project, the Rus program. So that's another one that makes radar actually a lot less accessible early on. Interesting change. All of this is not yet interesting, however. We are researching the rubber processing here. We are going to get some research bonuses, I think. At construction 4, I'll dedicate one research slot to that, because we'll get 2 others to free up relatively soon. It is ahead of time, but it is going to allow us to, in about a year's time, to construct faster. Okay. Here we're pushing out the last enemy troops. Nothing of interest happening here. Papal volunteers we're holding, and in Egypt we are we're expanding the front lines, which is not what I had in mind. So get these troops back where they belong, and we will see if we can manage to cut off some of the Ottoman divisions here. And reconnect. And reconnect with the encircled Syrian troops here. Actually, in fact, we may actually just do this and get all the divisions to see if we can link up with the Syrians and at least rescue these 2 divisions here. And that's going to give us a pretty good front line, while the Egyptians are flooding into the rear, but that's all not that's more Jabal Shammar territory that they need to deal with. Right, so we're liberating Syria. Here it's getting interesting. So we are defending against the enemy counterattack, where 3 divisions have now joined, and we're just trying to hold here. 2 Sicilies, because we can't get anything through. That's why. We actually have 500 naval experience, so we do need to spend that. Spirit of the Academy, we may as well. We are new naval leaders. Don't really need it. We'll go with calculated restraint, because we don't have an awful lot of a navy. We can get a Spirit of Naval Command, which, given that we're probably mostly doing things like mostly doing things like submarine operations. Night fighting might not a bad one. Heroes of the Arctic sounds like a very specific Russian one. No, I'm going with night fighting, and we are probably going to go with trade interdiction here. So let's spend a bit on the of the naval experience here. Unrestricted submarine warfare, and we can go up to wolf packs, I think. All right, there we go. I am aware that we have the army experience, and we haven't taken the spirit of command yet. We might. I'm kind of tempted with this one. I do like the static warfare though for defense. I'll leave this open for now, and we'll save this up for when we can manage to get the theorist. And I would like to get. Who did we have? That's Golovin. Yeah, we're going to get him. We're going to get him for land doctrine costs. So 400 we're going to need, but we do have to keep an eye on the German capital. Although we've whittled them down quite a bit by now, so that's a good one. Construction, I think we started actually to build the aerodynamics facility. We may need a nuclear research. I'm not sure where the radar tech actually goes. Interestingly enough, was it? Let's see. Hang on, because this is new to me. So it needs the Rus program. Now, is that part of air, or is this part of land? Probably part of air, because I don't see it. No, I don't really see it here. We're still trying to get the land research for the big artillery triplex, so that's something we need to do. But situation in the PSA is getting critical. They're pushing us back in all directions here, and I'm still looking for a potential counterattack. But I'm starting to feel like we are overextended here in terms of supply. This is not really going to happen. We may have to move. There's no good position supply-wise here to destroy anything. We may have to actually move north, and then chop. Instead of doing the big encirclement, we'll have to work on smaller encirclements by pushing back troops and destroying them piecemeal. The problem is this is going to take a while, but we'll have one more go and see if we can run a counterattack here and manage to link up in Kansas. If we can get that line organized, because then we'll get supply out of Kansas. If we can get that line organized, then that would be basically a victory. But it's an interesting, it's a questionable situation. All right, we're getting counterattacked by the north, and they have reinforced somewhat. But we're gonna keep running the assault here because we're trying to. And we are actually in reserves still ourselves. We are trying to free up the river crossing towards Ancona, but it extends the front line, so that's quite significant. We are actually the last defenders here in the north for the papacy by the looks of it. So that division here is under significant pressure, and we've got the volunteers in Egypt. That is. Not here, there. They have reinforced, unfortunately, south of Amman, but we'll see if we can manage to push them out. We have some Egyptians joining in as well, so we'll see if we can make that happen. But yeah, the States is the critical one here right now, where we are currently just having to defend, and then we'll see if we can. I don't think we can launch a counterattack, because that's only one division attacking. This is fracturing. The front lines are fracturing very, very rapidly. Friendly troops are getting encircled here as well, because of the overextension, and that means I don't see us breaking this. There are too many enemy divisions, especially that there are capable divisions here as well. So they have brought in their divisions from the east. With the militia, we can deal relatively easily. We'll have one more go. We'll see once the Bronx Yankees are exhausted from the assault, if we can actually hold that. And Armenia is declaring war as well now. Good luck with that against the Ottomans. If we can even hold that, because they are, we're getting attacked also from the east. Yeah, we're getting attacked from the east now as well. This is just too many divisions. They are. I don't think we can break through and close this as close as we got. I don't think we can. So we may have to relocate somewhere where we can start working this down from the north. And because I don't see us breaking through anywhere. This is too much of a stretch. So yeah, we'll see. We'll defend here for now and see if there's an opportunity. But I don't think we can potentially. Especially that we're out of supply range here. I don't see us getting through there at all. So let's see. Still have a research slot that we can use. We do have to start the excavation techs at some point, but I think we're good we're honestly good on minerals. We have plenty of those. But we do need to start the support companies. So these are running a little behind. Let's start with the engineers, and we're going to get that researched. We have the railway guns almost done, so that's that. And how is our? We're actually having we're getting reasonably close with support equipment. 2.7 is not that much because we're going to. We've got a good amount of infantry equipment, however. So I think we can. Actually, we should be relatively close. We're already researching this. Okay, fair enough. So once we have the new infantry equipment, then in 100 days, then we can change that. But yeah, we're going to need more on the tanks. So I think everything right now is starting to fall into place. And we're going to also have to recruit a few more divisions. So how are we currently looking? It's a lot of troops are elsewhere. We've got a third field army here of regular infantry. I think I would like to have 130 out of 200. I think I would like to have a few more guard infantries. So let's get a few more of those trained up while we're at it. But we don't have an awful lot of manpower anymore. We do have to be careful that. So we'll probably bring that just under 200,000, and then we need to change into conscription, which costs 150 political power, which we don't have. So it's the usual problem. Anyway, defense north of Rome is coming under vicious attack here. So all of this is still very much up in the air. And I don't think we can hold this line here, to be honest. So we'll be pushed back here, which means we are now starting to ourselves become into a position where potentially they can push us out, they can push back to retake Chicago. So I think we need to relocate somewhere where we can A, have supply, and B, begin cutting off these, reducing this salient, but we have to do it the old-fashioned way. So let's, we could start from Omaha and then work our way through here. I think we'll give up. Yeah, we'll give up this. There's just way too many troops. We'll relocate north, and we will try to approach this. This is unfortunately not the greatest. It's going to take a while to actually get around there. So we're going to have to get the tanks disengaged and then moved around. But yeah, we're getting pushed back. We're getting major pushback on all lines here. And once the tanks have disengaged, then they'll take the rails northwards, and we'll try a new approach from there, and see if we can reduce the salient, secure the lines a bit more. And bridge too far is definitely the term here, I would say. We have a few divisions here that are all unassigned, and they are all very much out of supply, so they can't all sit there. So let's quickly give them a more a more suitable area to go to. All right. Southern Rhodesia has capitulated, so the war in South Africa is not going. Yes, Republic of South Africa has pretty much fought that back. So the Entente has not gained a foothold with their South African revolution. It looks like the Syndicalists are getting pushed back in India quite significantly, and the lines are static in China, so we don't need to worry about these. In Sicily, we're still trying to get across the line here, and in Egypt, we're still trying to. We have actually managed to reconnect the Syrian troops. Okay, that means there is a supply position up north there, so I am interested to get there and see if we can. It is a bit risky. But if we can manage to break through towards the coast, we have a valid chance of let's see if we can get there before the local Druze are being pushed out. And research is complete on railway guns, so those need to get into production. Of course, once we actually have, can I get an MI? Oh, it automatically gets one. Because there's only one. Okay. So these need to be built, but of course that has a relatively low priority. So we're going to get 5 factories onto that at some point. But first we need to actually get the rest done. All right. What else do we have? Artillery, there's probably, we're running a bit behind on these, but we can look at the tank design actually. This would allow a squeeze bore adapter, better medium cannon. All of this is, I'm going to go with AA research because that is sort of the more important one at this stage. But we can take a look at the tank, at the T100, and see if we can create a variant here, which instead of the flamethrower, we have the heavy cannon. There was a howitzer thing somewhere. I'm not sure where it went. It's not here. I'm pretty sure I had something researched that had a. What was it here? Yeah, this one, the assault gun tank module. Where can I use this? It does. I'm not entirely. It doesn't really say. It should just be a tank weapon. But I don't appear to be able to use it. Let me figure that out. Right, I can't actually use that because that is for the land cruiser chassis, which is on the sort of through here on the super heavy tanks, and then you've got the land cruiser special project. Okay, so I can't actually use those, which means if I was going to build an infantry support tank, what are we waiting for here? It's probably that's self-propelled. That's just self-propelled artillery upgrades. That's the medium howitzer. I'm not sure where the heavy howitzer went because we don't have that yet. That's the improved heavy cannon. That might be way later. No, these are the high velocity guns. Advanced heavy cannon. There should have been a howitzer somewhere. Heavy howitzer. Okay, that's all the way down here. Right. So the only thing we can actually do right now with the heavy tank chassis. So let's see what that would look like if we create a variant. So instead of the let's create a save as new. And we could replace that with actually the fixed superstructure is probably not terrible for that. We only have the basic heavy cannon that has 20 soft attack. I'm mostly after the soft attack here. Or we could use the medium howitzer, which has 35 soft attack, yeah. So we could do the fixed superstructure, the medium howitzer, and we've got the improved radio. That would give us a 25 soft attack Okay, of course, no, it's not a flame. It would be an artillery piece. So 40 soft attack, yeah. And it would bring a good amount of armor in, and we could even improve that a little bit still. Sloped armor would, I think, be worth on this, yes. And we do need we could get a little bit of reliability with the wet ammunition storage. So we've got that going, and that way we don't need to get a maintenance company onto it. And then I think we've got a 27 production cost, which isn't great, but it could also be worse. So that would be 40, relatively low breakthrough. But that's because it's a fixed superstructure, because that's an artillery piece. So that's the Su-14M. I think that's a good design. Last, we could still I don't really think we gain much from the secondary. We could. The heavy machine gun has more. It's definitely doing more now, but that might actually be quite neat. The additional machine guns are just doing one. Yeah, that's as it used to be. I could still throw the armor skirts in for a bit more cost, or this smoke launchers for defense, not really worth it. The fuel drums might be interesting though, just for to be able to hold more fuel. Otherwise, this will slow down the divisions that it gets attached to quite a bit. Although we are fighting in Europe, so I don't think supply is going to be our main concern here. I think we'll leave it as that for now. 27 production cost. And with that, we have the Su-14M, our first artillery. So we can get that into production as well. And then we obviously need an actual heavy tank, but I don't think we need it yet. So there's no point in designing one just yet. So self-propelled artillery is one that we do want to get into. Production eventually. Yeah, it's going to take some more factories until we actually get there. All right. Have we managed to retreat just yet? Okay, we've got one tank division that's moving to the new front line. The rest is retreating. We're falling back from the St. Louis line. It's not defensible, and we'll try to break through from the north and clear out the front lines. The Germans are once again demanding compensation. The German Foreign Office and representatives of German business interests were outraged at our blatant breach of international laws of trade, but ultimately understood that Germany only has limited. Okay, they adopted a more pragmatic, profit-seeking stance. So they want, the sanctions are annoying because they're costing me 10% consumer goods factories. So I think I do want to avoid that happening. And that 30, I really don't want to spend the 30 political power, but I think this is going to get pretty nasty pretty quickly. So we're going to have to maneuver this smartly, and all right, we'll spend it for now. Unfortunately, I'm not happy with it, but we've got 60 days still. We're already at 50. And we do have to make a decision, I think, at some point. We are going to need a theorist, and we're going to need him soon, because I do need to go down the doctrine path, and I do want to spend as little as possible on this. We also could add political advisors, which is also becoming really important. And we're still short on the military high command, and obviously we're very sure we do need at some point an industrial concern. But I honestly think at this point this is too far. This is just too far away. We simply don't have the political power, and we're not getting there, because we also need to go to partial mob. We need to have the conscription. There's so many things we need to do. So I think even the theorist might be. I would really like to get Golovin for the 15% doctrine cost. but I might need to take a political advisor first, honestly. Do we? Because there are some pretty good ones, and like 6% consumer good factories be quite nice. 15% consumer good factories be really good as well. So that would probably be the first one I would take, unless I think there was one with 10% political power gain. But construction research is good. They're all pretty good, but I think the consumer good factories would be helping a lot right now. So recruitable population would be good as well. But yeah, I think the Romanov, getting Dmitry Romanov in for 15% consumer good factories, because that would free up probably about 4-5 factories that we could use for construction, and that would actually be really quite useful. It's a difficult decision. We are in 39, so warfare is also important. Anyway, I will see when we get there. I don't have the political power anyway, but it's a tricky decision. It's a tricky decision to make. All right, we'll see once the troops here have moved. We're still very much in limbo here, and we are moving troops. We're moving troops north here in the Middle East, where I think what we'll try is to see if we can either take Damascus. I do want to leave one division behind to secure the line, but if we can break through towards the coast, that would be grand. Okay, we've got one division here, and we're sending a second one in to support that for now. But yeah, first we have to actually defeat that significant counterattack here. We might be able to break through towards Damascus. That would be an option. Tanks should almost have themselves extracted. And yeah, we actually need to get out because it looks like the 2nd Colorado Volunteer Cavalry is about to fall. So yeah, tanks are now on the move. We've got the 3rd Mechanized, and here we are facing just simple Red Guard divisions. So we'll try to break through. I will try to break through towards Des Moines, maybe, or just in the north here and see if we can cut off the troops in the north, reduce that, and then work our way south. While Chicago is probably about to fall already if that continues. Still haven't managed to break through in Sicily. We're still holding north of Rome, so that division is simply on the defense. And in Egypt, we have now managed to get through, but Damascus looks open. So we'll immediately send troops into Damascus, and Egyptian troops are pouring in as well now. So I think we can get 2 divisions and see if we can take both Damascus and Beirut in a rapid march in the rear of the enemy. German sanctions hit the forestry sector. What do you mean? They should not be having. I thought so that just increases the duration of the trade sanctions. But I thought we paid them off. The fiends. That is not acceptable. I think measures will have to be taken against these economic sanctions eventually. That is just unacceptable. Okay, tanks on the way. Sicily. We're still fighting to break this position north of the river here. It's turning out to be a real, and the mountain divisions are getting exhausted here. So I think we are going to have to let them recover for now, because they did have counterattacks from the north. We'll let them recover, and then we'll try that again. This war is ground into pretty much of a stalemate at this point. So the most active actually will be the Egyptians, and I do need to make sure that the troops don't reach Damascus. So we'll get the 69th Guards to hold them in the south, while the 68th Guards are breaking through towards Damascus. We have taken the enemy capital. And that means we no longer need to do this, but we can now reinforce Damascus, which is obviously getting counterattacked, and then make our way out towards Beirut. And that would be the first strategic encirclement of Ottoman troops, and probably a major victory. How's Persia and Ottomans? I can't even see the front line. It's in a sandstorm. So no idea where everyone's fighting, but it looks like the Ottoman Empire is getting destroyed on all fronts here. So we got all 3 tank divisions in place now. So now we are just waiting for the 4th and 5th to organize themselves, and that means here we are just on the defense for now. Yeah, we're just fighting in Egypt at this point. And the Persian divisions have arrived. Great. So we've got the Persian volunteers as well. 3 divisions. I don't think we have a field marshal available now that they're all engaged. So I could promote somebody at some point, but I think I'd rather get the current field marshals underway. All right. So we've got 3 divisions here. Now this is going to become a question of supply. Where should we attack? I think Baghdad is probably going to be the first point of interest. So let's see if we can get into the sandstorms around Baghdad, and see if we can manage to get these divisions to take Baghdad. Okay, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 control point. Okay, and then Egyptians are here. Okay. Right. So reinforcements arriving in Damascus. Friendly troops are holding the positions. We're just having to make sure we're not getting cut off here while we are taking Beirut. And they've reinforced Beirut. Okay, hang on. Kanzin falls ill, unfortunately, but I think we can launch the attack from the all-out attack against Beirut here. That's kind of the important one, because we do have Egyptian regulars holding Damascus, and I think with that we should be able to take Beirut without too much trouble. And then from there, okay, the Egyptians are moving out, which is less than ideal, but Beirut has the first regulars in Beirut have retreated, which means we're going to get the 69th Guard to move in. 68th holds Damascus, and then we will begin the operation to reduce the lines already, so we can already join the fight here in the south. Here in the States, okay, the tanks have regained their organization, so we immediately launch the assault. I think the first assault probably to link up here through Des Moines. So let's see if we can create that link. The Indiana Red Guards are now suddenly facing armored attacks, and okay, we're making advances in the north actually as well. Kansas City is still holding, Springfield is still holding, and Chicago is still holding, but barely. I think the troops in the east here of Chicago are going to be pushed back, but they've managed to get some operational successes there themselves. Meanwhile, 2 Sicilies want to buy tactical bombers again. Yeah, that wasn't working last time. We'll try again. We'll see if it works this time. And the BMZ, which we are using for, I keep forgetting, armored trains. Anything else? I think that's it, yeah. Has the first trait. So that is the second one, actually. So we don't want to take anything that's just for artillery, because we're not going to use it for artillery. This is for railway artillery production cost reduction. That's good. This would be also production cost. But it's mutually exclusive with plus 5%. That we don't need that. So that's production cost. That is production cost as well. But we would get a research bonus from this as well, and that is 50% production resource. And that increases, that gives us bonds as well. Okay, we're going to go with the production cost, and we get a supply hub for that for free as well. So 2 equipment variants. What else are we using this for? Sure, I thought there was only one. Oh no, it's the railway gun and the armored trains, right? Armored trains and railway guns, right? So anything that applies to armored trains and railway artillery, yeah, production cost, that's good. I don't think I need to update these. That should be just a... Okay, not doing that now. We'll collect a bit more. I thought that should have been an economic one, but maybe not. Okay, so we're breaking through here, and then we will see if we can link up and destroy the fractured northern armies there, and then clear out the troops and then move on St. Louis. And in... okay, we've actually been pushed back north of Rome by the looks of it. So the 34th Mountain is actually retreating at this point. There's a massive onslaught here. And we're just trying to hold on, actually. Have they gotten reinforcements in? We're just trying to hold on in the north. But yeah, we're getting pushed back along the lines here. So friendly troops are still, despite the victory here, are still really trying to push. We need to get the Germans across the river. That's the biggest problem. But of course, we're getting constantly counterattacked here. But we are holding Beirut, so we are immediately. No, we have to hold Damascus for now. We'll see if we can. We will see if we can reduce that. Albania has joined the Belgrade Pact. Okay, that's good. Here, yeah, we'll try. We'll have to try and reduce the enemy divisions here, but I have to be careful. I have to be careful with just to hold firm first in Beirut and Damascus before we go into the counterattack. And here in the south, we're actually we're okay, but we're fighting against some. We're fighting under enemy air superiority, and we're fighting in the mountains. Yeah, that's less than ideal. Mountain troops would have been better here, so we might stop the assault on Amman for now. They have reinforced, so we can probably move north, and then move north and do a joint attack. I'm going to get all divisions on that front, and with the task of clearing out all 3 divisions, please. So all 3 divisions on that, and oops, do it again. There we go. That's better. And we'll get this division to move north, and then we'll once these troops have, they're still holding the port of Haifa, so they're still getting supply, so they're not going to starve that easily. But we'll make our way through there. I have to have a quick look around and see if any of the generals can get an upgrade right now, but I think no, that's a negative. All right, states still breaking through towards Des Moines, and I think that was the right choice rather than banging our heads against these positions because they were just too strong. All right, we have moved in, which means we do need to secure the rear, however, so we'll leave 1 division behind. And we'll actually try to that should work. We'll take Des Moines, and I think we use the momentum to link up with the friendly troops in the east and collapse the whole position north of the river there. And that should not be a problem. So let's make sure that we only get okay 1. Yeah, you need to support. Okay, we do need to secure the lines until the infantry is backfilling, but with that we should be able to entrap a fair amount of enemy troops in the north. We've got 5, 6, 7 divisions, so that would be I think a more reasonable. There we go, a more reasonable victory. All right, so we've connected the lines east of Des Moines. There's no supply here, obviously, but so we need to immediately begin the attacks north. Unfortunately, this is a river crossing, so there is relatively little that we can do to avoid that problem. So let's move north and and collapse the cauldron here, and destroy these encircled divisions. In Sicily, we are still holding, and we'll try to retake. Well, we might try to retake this position. We'll throw our lot in, but it might be difficult to do so. In Egypt, okay, everyone is in position in Egypt, so we can now begin the attack south. We'll move south from Beirut towards Haifa, and we'll get the attack going from Damascus as well to collapse the Ottoman troops here. So that's going as planned. The Iranian troops, the troops in Persia, are at the position to launch a counterattack against Baghdad once that's completed. So we need to keep an eye on that as well. And here we are clearing out enemy lines. So once that is completed, then we can sweep south and probably move to retake Kansas, because Kansas has fallen in the meantime. Little Rock has fallen, has almost fallen, and they're pushing south, trying to separate the Union State from the main front line. So this is becoming a relatively critical position. So we will need to eliminate the troops there and free up the militia here to move south. That's important. All right. Back to this breakthrough is never going to happen. Not against these defenses in the hills here. So, well, we'll try. Here we're holding for now, but these divisions need to regain some organization, and that means we'll be focusing on the Middle East for now to keep an eye on both the Persian and the Syrian front, where we are taking down the old enemy with great success at this point. So just waiting for the last division here to capitulate. They're still attacking from the north. I do want to run a counterattack against Baghdad, however, but we're still defending here. Okay, the attack on Haifa is not going too well, so we'll stop that and support the assault on the other side instead. And friendly troops have joined, so that's good. And the states, we are in a good position. However, we do need some infantry in Des Moines if possible. So right now we're just closing out the encirclement of 7 enemy divisions, the encirclement and destruction of 7 enemy divisions, which is going to free up this whole army part to reinforce the main front lines. And then, yeah, they are actually trying to reconnect in Des Moines, so we are going to counterattack them here. Keep them in place until infantry arrives, or until the lines. Des Moines is not of particular strategic value. We just want to make sure they don't get out of the encirclement. Okay, Middle East, Italy still holding, and we'll once again join the assault here. Widen the front lines, bring 2 additional divisions in, and see if we can dislodge them. Assault north here. Yeah, we'll rejoin it again. Middle East is progressing. Persia, we're still defending, so we can't counterattack just yet. China is just on the defense, and in here we are. Okay. The fourth is going to have a hard time holding this, so I think we'll just focus on the defense. Okay, they've given up the attack, so we'll relaunch the assault on the Red Guards and wait for the North Dakota militia to make their way here. But I think we're almost complete in the breakthrough here. Back to Sicily, where we need to rejoin the attack on. Yeah, this is not leading anywhere. We'll just stay on the defense with the Papal States. But this would be an important breakthrough if we can make it happen. In Egypt, we are still reducing enemy troops here, but friendlies have reached the Beirut lines, and I think now we can finally launch the counterattack against Baghdad and try to, before they can fully dig in, and try to see if we can dig the enemy defenders out there. All right, in the terrain is really not helping. The urban terrain is not great for the attack, obviously, but we'll do what we can. What's the guards division is looking like at this point? Single artillery and no support arty. We also do at some point need to bring in the field hospitals as well, because we are obviously taking more losses than I would like. So that's why the support equipment is going to be so important, because we are in need of that. We might send some rifles to the Pacific states. Unfortunately, I can't see in what state they're in, but yeah, they seem to be. Let's see if these are full strength though. Most of them seem to be full strength, so I don't think they have necessarily problems. How are the Chinese looking against the war in Japan? Yeah, the Qing government may have. Yeah, I think the Qing government is in need of rifles. So let's see if we can. Send material support. I'm pretty sure we've got. Do we have some captured rifles on, like any foreign equipment laying? Yeah, we've got plenty of foreign equipment laying around. So we'll send some of the foreign rifles that we have laying around here to the Chinese, and put them to good use rather than them rotting in our own stockpiles. All right. That's underway. Right, so here we are. Okay, we don't need to counterattack anymore because Des Moines has been secured. So we are just clearing the lines in the north. But the next question is, where are we going from here? Because we have no supply, unfortunately. So we do need to cut the lines through towards Omaha, actually. And for that, we are already going to shorten the lines a bit. These are, yeah, we could attack here. That I think is would be a good position, and we might actually have some. We might have some supply there. So let's see that we secure supply coming in from Omaha, and Chicago is under pressure. The whole eastern flank has rapidly collapsed. So we'll chew our way through here. And once we've weakened them sufficiently, hopefully we can retake Kansas, maybe then secure St. Louis and then Memphis, and make sure that they are no longer capable of severing the lines here between the Union and the Pacific states. All right, Egyptians, where are we looking? We are still running the attack, and I think that one is pretty. It's going to be pretty straightforward, especially once we take Haifa. The Armenians joined the Tabriz Accord, so we have a new faction, maybe. It's Persia. It's the Persian faction. Okay. And the attack against Baghdad is actually faltering at this point because we are simply because we're being counterattacked from the north. That's why. All right. Well, we'll focus on the defense here and see if we have an opportunity. But taking Baghdad is going to be more difficult than it should be. We're once again going to join the assault here along the lines and see if we can break there. I don't think I can actually move the papal troops over here, though. Don't think it'll let me. No, it doesn't allow me to move the troops there. Actually, it should. No, it does. Okay, I can get an additional. Okay, I'm not sure why that was a problem before, but I can get an additional division in on this line and join in the attack. This is key that we get these divisions across the river north. That has to happen. In the States, we're still clearing out enemy positions from all sides. So the tanks are joining in, eliminating the enemy pockets. And in Egypt, we are making slow progress of fracturing and cutting off enemy troops here. But I think we're in a good state now. Once we've cleared these out, we can move north towards, and I don't think there's much. We can move north towards Aleppo. Damascus has been liberated, and yeah, the assault on Baghdad seems a bit far off still. All right, states, tanks are moving. Italy, we are trying to break in. But we need to get all divisions on task now. So let's get 3 divisions onto the task of trying to. This is actually a smaller front line. However, this is hilly terrain, and the mountain specialist may have a chance of breaking this. We will see, because they can't engage a lot of divisions here. We actually got 2 divisions engaged. They have 2 divisions engaged, depending on if we get attacks from the south as well. So we may actually be able to break this with the reserves that we have. In that case, I'll actually let the... let's see if we can give them a front line here. Okay, that worked. And with that, we can... we'll let these rest while the others are launching the attack here. Okay, they've opened the big front lines again, unfortunately. It would actually be more beneficial if we could launch the attack ourselves, not then the Germans wouldn't be pushing from the south. But we'll see if we can find an opportunity. And states, okay, we've cleared out the encirclement. That's another 18, like close to 30,000 troops, enemy troops that have surrendered. And I think we can launch the assault south here already, while all all 3 tank divisions, which we can probably we can get all 3 on target here. Encircle these 2, and yeah, we're making. I think we've salvaged this situation. We're securing. We've broken a fair amount of troops in the southern flanks, and we have enough political power to enact something. But we only got 30 days until we need 50 again, so I might have to wait first. We'll see which one we take next. We're at 3 already. This is going to reduce it by 1. We might take one of these, but we will see. We will see which one is the most beneficial. I'm almost thinking of taking the 80, to be honest, because that's going to be the last 2, and that's going to give me 8% consumer good factory. Oh no, that's the price. And no, never mind. I thought I'd get 8% consumer good factories. Dockyards, don't need it. Stability loss, don't really want it. Don't really want that either. This doesn't do anything. So I think probably one of the railway or mineral extractions are going to be the other 2 that we're doing. So we only need 50, which means we'll have some political power available, and I will probably I'll see if we can get to the firepower proponent, because I think getting through the doctrine faster than the enemy is going to be really, really important. So let's see if we can get up to 100. That's the next one we go for the theorist, and while we're working our way through here, and that I don't think any of that is right now. Yeah, we don't have to deal with that. We could lend our support. That would increase the amount of volunteers we can send. But we've still got a few of these to be doing as well. So yeah, fair amount of things we need. Fair amount of things we need to do. But all in all, I would say situation somewhat salvaged in the Pacific states. Although not completely off the ice yet. We've taken pretty severe losses. They've retaken Chicago, and the East is under pressure, but we'll consolidate the lines here first, and then we'll begin a renewed push east once we have friendly troops. What are they doing over there? Once we have friendly troops in place, So I think the sort of St. Louis line here, Nashville-St. Louis line, is going to be what we'll secure. And then we'll work on retaking the enemy capital and moving towards the east coast eventually. Italy is looking dire, but we'll look for opportunities. And in Egypt, we are wiping out the last remaining enemy troops here. So I think with that, we are, these guys are encircled. So with that, we are having a major victory against the old foe of the Ottomans. We'll just have to see if there's anything we can do in the east to take Baghdad. That's going to be a major effort, and we'll see. We'll let them plan. We'll let them plan the assault, and then we'll see where that goes. But the world is certainly burning, as you can see, and we're inching ever closer to the inevitable conflict with the German Empire, which means once that's done, I think the very next thing we're going to do is the Wrangel line and begin fortifying the border and solving the supply issues in the area. I think that is becoming essential. So that's going to start, unfortunately, taking a fair amount of the construction that we have available to us. But we are getting there. And the big war is probably, alliances are being formed, and the big war is probably not too far off.